Welcome back to a new episode of Free Game the Podcast. I am Who Can Cal Can.
It's your boy DJ Original. Don't let this man talk to y'all like that. This is Neighborhood Nip. You got my boy Nipsey Hussle in the flesh.
Rest in peace, Nip. You know what I'm saying? Still. But we come to you as sincere and as real as possible. We're coming to you in a tragic time in our world, in the U.S., about the recent events that's been going on. Not only this pandemic that we're still working through, but the recent events, including George Floyd and his passing due to police brutality, as you would put it, or as we phrase it. But, we come to you in a very serious time, man. So this podcast is no surprise. We're going to be discussing, police injustice, justice, and how do we move forward. Because we can't stand here forever. So, any tidbits on
lovely intro.
Because
as sincere as possible, we do want to make sure that we pay that respect. But at the same regard, we want to make sure that y'all understand this Free Game the Podcast. Mm-hmm. So it's just our cultivated responses and reactions to what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So we want to make sure that y'all understand that we just trying to give you our side of the story the best that we can give.
But disclaimer as well, though, I'm assuming me and him are going to be speaking from our personal opinions as black men. So if indeed you are one of those people that are looking at this as we're supposed to be politically correct about these topics, this may not be the episode for you. Very authentic, very raw, as it relates to our opinions about what's going on currently. So,
but I will say I do appreciate that Killer Cal always makes sure that he shows the love to the actual thing that's going on, which is the real problem is somebody lost their life.
Yep.
It's a family out there without, and I think that leads us right into our first topic, bro, which is this police.
Yeah.
Which is the issue.
What was funny was, bro, I'm not gonna lie, and please, again, this is obviously, and Yasmin kind of took this
slight plug.
Yeah, slight plug to my girl Yaz. My unpopular opinion. Bro, do you imagine, or not even do you imagine us and how we treat actual insects, right? Mm-hmm. Like, just envision you killing an ant, right?
I just shot down 2 wasp nests yesterday.
Okay, imagine how you treat insects that are some like mosquitoes, not actually harmful, but they are insects. They have lives. They live. And I imagine us like stepping on ants, not knowing if the ant that we just stepped on has a family, if the ant is a woman or have children, or just no care for how we treat insects around us, but knowing that we're trying to protect ourselves because we know the damage that they can do in the event that they do touch us.
You can tell it's almost like this Game of Thrones peasant and royal type of feel, but they don't realize that this world is not a fictional fantasy like these movies y'all looking at.
This is real life.
You're living in a real life. When people get y'all's address, when they figure out who's harming them, they gonna body you. And they gonna express feelings that only
and I say that I bring similarity into what I just discussed regarding how we treat insects, due to the fact of people understand our dominance as a culture. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
And they understand that we actually produce some of the best things regarding culture in our era. Whereas in just if you was to look at a honeybee, like they produce honey. You know what I'm saying? Like they produce something beautiful.
And we need bees.
But we are yet scared of their presence, when they come around.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? And and like I said, you might not agree with that opinion. I'm not comparing black people to insects, but I'm comparing the similarities as it relates to when people acknowledge your dominance or your presence as a person or as a culture. The best thing you try to do is to kill it, because don't let that bee sting you, because then you feel a pain that you feel like you can never recover from. And I feel like a lot of times that's where their instincts as it relates to white people, because again, we're talking about the discussions of police brutality or white cops or black men losing their lives due to the white hand, where they are afraid of our dominance in such a way that before they even acknowledge what we have to offer, who we are to our communities, who we are to our loved ones, let's kill this person off, because if indeed, don't let an Obama get to the White House again, right? Do not let another black person get into the office. You feel me?
About to get me riled up.
Yeah.
I
mean,
you would have got me prepared in the behind the scenes. Calvin came straight on here.
I'm coming off the cuff, man, because this shit is happening.
Here's
way
the
too
unfortunate
much.
thing.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to speak out of pocket or out of place because I'm still young, but I can only talk from my experience and my history and the things that I've studied.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta learn. One of the wealthiest people in the world, Mansa Musa, a black man. In regard to the time that he was living in, wealthiest person was a black man.
Yeah.
But they don't teach you that.
Yeah.
So for me, this situation is more unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because it's showing how clown Donald Trump is as a leader.
Yeah.
If I don't get in deep nowhere else as a leader, you're poor.
Yeah.
You're not giving us good speeches to make us feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. If this was a battalion, a platoon, a squad, a coach, bro, your troops are at dismay. Even the police officers don't know whether they want to riot or should I march with them? Because at this point now I got to pick sides.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I'm having. They acting like time doesn't repeat itself.
Yeah.
So I'm just reminding black people that, man, we powerful. We've been going through this. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We just had time for it.
Yeah.
One of the newest slogans is, oh, you can talk all that mess, but I got time for it today.
Yeah.
Corona made people have time for this malarkey that you've been putting us through. So now people band together in ways that finally show.
Because they have time. And before we dive in too deep, obviously speaking about George Floyd, he was, and if you have any tidbits on the actual story itself in terms of if I'm not actually correct about some things I say, George Floyd was arrested because it was identified that he had a fake $20 bill or a bill that was not real. And they, I don't recall where he was, but they called the police and asked them to come due to an identifiable fake dollar bill. And he was yet arrested, and then several police had restrained him while one person was had his knee directly on his neck, and for 8 minutes he's like, they said out of the 8 minutes, 2 of those minutes he was like unresponsive, and he was crying out for his mom, literally like at his wit's end of knowing that like he might be losing his life. And as far as the arrests go, I believe that they just arrested the police officer, if not a couple of days ago, and the other 2 are still, I believe, free at this moment. But that's exactly.
This is Zimmerman.
Yeah.
And here's my thing: don't be fooled. Zimmerman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's sad about this though? Even as the host of Free Game the podcast, I didn't even know why he was arrested, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that live because I know a lot of other people probably didn't either. You know what we got caught up in though?
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I was just explaining to somebody yesterday. The reason why people can still fetch on to this and latch on to this movement, it's the energy.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't even know why he really even got, because
Yeah.
it's so reoccurring to see black people get treated this way, that as soon as I see that energy build up, I know where it comes from because I've had my own experience.
Yeah.
And that's crazy that when you got these people, they can't even realize that energy comes from a real place. They know they should be intelligent. They smart up there, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting these protests, these rallies for no reason. This is a real. But yet, instead of if they would have just addressed it like how you'd address a fight in your classroom as a kid, you'd be like, listen, we know things got out of hand. You know what? They were wrong.
Yeah.
You know what? We are with y'all. We gonna enforce some laws on this. They need to tighten up. Instead of doing that, which was a slap on it, they would rather say, no, when they loot, we shoot back.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most.
Yeah.
And don't get me started.
And no, we have to get started.
That's so simple to do.
Yeah.
You're a leader.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as speaking to the leadership, it's more or less like, that's why there are captains on sports teams, and because not everybody holds that position that can rally people and amidst to let, just like your parent would tell you everything's going to be okay, right? We are not dealing with that leadership. Yet we also still lack black leadership, where You know, I have not heard some of our prominent black leaders, other than me just watching First Take this morning and seeing Michael Eric Dyson on there giving his opinion about the subject. But what black leaders...
I hate to get touchy with this one,
Yeah.
because I don't want to pick a side, but here's my thing. People got to see it from their side, too.
Yeah.
Because I've come up in California, I've come up in Texas. I've seen the glitz and the glamour, and I've seen... Y'all got to chill. These people got lives, too.
Yeah.
And what y'all don't realize is people put so much pressure on the celebrities sometimes, whereas you got them in the same very slavery that we trying to get out, which
Yeah.
is you want us to make y'all's decisions.
Which, no, and bro, you know what's funny, bro? I'm glad you said it, because that's actually
And that's
very...
super...
That is a very...
It's
a
inception,
very
dude.
important topic as like a sub...
They
like,
got our celebrities
subtext.
in a different form of slavery.
But yet, that is one of the responsibilities that they hold.
And I can't...
So just like...
you got your Muhammad Ali,
Just
your
like
Malcolm X's.
as you being a parent, I just had to go to the hospital 2 nights ago because my daughter was sick. I had to work in the morning, but these are one of the responsibilities that I have to hold as a parent. And just as an athlete, if you are an athlete getting paid millions and millions of dollars, black people, white people are supporting you to go see you play, pay their hard-earned dollars. When it's time for you to recognize how I feel as a person, a piece of you as an athlete needs to be able to reassure me that the same person that I support will support me in my fight and my efforts to change. That's why Kaepernick will go
That's
down
why
in
I
history.
can rock with Kaepernick.
Kaepernick will go down in
That's
history
why Kaepernick
because
is always good
yet
in
and
my
behold, he sacrificed his whole wealthy way of living behind his people, bro. You know what I'm saying?
'Cause here's where I gotta tell you, Cal. All the names we gonna name that are people that are influential, that didn't stand for no shit, they died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you go home and look at your family in the face, and we'll get off of it because it's touchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then, you know what I mean? You got to defend this social, so it's deep. But for me, and I love that it's going all over the place because it really exposes all when your immune system go down, what happened?
Yeah.
Underlying stuff happens. Whatever sickness hits you, you get a lot of stuff. So as the black community, for me, we need to organize, address one thing at a time. For me right now, what we need to address, police brutality, and I would say the one thing, and that's America. For black people, our one thing is we need to be Black Wall Street again.
Yeah.
Our money need to be spent. Who can? Original, the South Chicken and Waffle, Mama Love, Sip It, Blow, whoever is black owned.
Yeah.
And if they missing a link, we put the link in place for them now that what black banks we got.
Yeah.
Because you seeing, even if you give them that money, they don't care about you. Like, would you go fund somebody if they clearly...
And mind you, the police officers are getting paid from people's tax dollars. So we're actually paying for them.
Bro, you heard about all the coronavirus cases that now they're lying about people that may die from something else?
Yeah.
They just, it's coronavirus.
Yeah, just
because
putting it
apparently I
underlying.
guess you're getting extra resources.
Yeah.
Because of the... So...
Yeah.
You see what we're dealing with?
It's really like a domino that's falling, right?
Why
So,
the Bible tell you stay close.
yeah, facts. I wanted to continue though on your point about the underlying issue of accountability of who people are, right? So understanding that, like you said, some people like myself, right? And this is why, going back to the episode that we was talking about Black History Month, this is why I was so intrigued about Martin Luther King's walk for change.
Okay.
Because Martin Luther King made the pen move, right? Like, he changed laws. He had things happen or be put in place, not for the person of today, but for the person of tomorrow. So for our kids, like, they will walk Martin Luther King march not even knowing really the idea of why it was created, but yet he had something to do with the change of the future. Where I'm saying there's an absence of black leadership that is not also telling us it's gonna be okay. Let's cultivate. And the thing that I am more frustrated about our response as black people to these issues is that nothing has been sustained, really, and it's more like a orgasm. It's there for a minute and then it's gone. Right?
And really, when it start to feel too good,
it's gone. And my thing is the longevity of our efforts to change. So, as like for an example, I just sent out an email to my company in which I work for, and my actual leadership, like, actually got all emails from my leadership, and my company does not recognize Martin Luther King Day as an official holiday. So while black people are marching, I'm at work, working. You see what I'm saying? And to me, that is an effort of actual change. Where
no question.
you've been living every year not going to the Martin Luther King March, but yet these events continue to happen.
And most people ain't gonna change. They ain't gonna. No one will do that.
And to the point where why hasn't it been done? But yet when this opportunity presents itself, where now everybody's jumping on this, we stand with black people, and we will actually stand with us tomorrow.
No question.
Not just today. Not just today. Stand with us tomorrow. Because tomorrow is 2021. Tomorrow is 2022. Right? That is not just
right
today.
Now, I need you to subscribe. Don't just listen to one episode.
Get all the notifications. Get all the notifications. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I would preach to anybody as it relates to efforts of change. It's not about what you change today. It's really about what you're changing for tomorrow. Not just today, bro. For the next week, we're probably going to be seeing protests daily. But let's see if it's still there come July. You know what I'm saying? Come December. Come January of next year. Are we still going to have this same energy tomorrow? And that's kind of what I wanted to get out as it relates to this. Your discussion as it relates to black leadership and just leadership in general, for sure.
You're getting quality sermon Cal right now. And I think you could tell in my spirit that, again, I say he died. Mm-hmm. So impactful, but he had to lose his life for it. Uh-huh. So, but that other side of me that is a leader in some format, mm-hmm. I need y'all to realize this: we can't live with a spirit of fear. Yeah, we need to go out here fearless. We can't fear it then, mm-hmm. because if it ends up ultimately being me or my family, which it really turns into, because mm-hmm. it don't affect you until it affects you. It's just like this coronavirus. People still acting like it don't exist, but look, it don't hit you until it's close. Mm-hmm. So what I'll say is we need to get militant. Mm-hmm. I think black people need to address issues just like how the military do. I've been so engulfed lately because I've watched everything, Calvin. Yeah. I don't have anything else to watch. I've hit that. You know what I've been watching?
Colors of
Lost. I've been watching war movies.
Yeah.
But I learned something in war movies because anybody could get got at any time. The lieutenant got, mm-hmm. the next person got. You have to be able to step up into the next person's shoes just like that in an instance. Oh, you was lieutenant, now you colonel, mm-hmm. now you general. We need black people to be the same way instead of we put so much pressure on. Okay, we all have a.
You might be looking at our board because perfect segue into the next situation in terms of accountability as it relates to what we need to do or what we can do. Involving yourself in politics, voting, being or having more black police officers, more black security, and regardless of where
we have our own black security that governs our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Since you guys have clearly throughout law. Mm-hmm. And if we are lawyers now too, we can prove that these mm-hmm. districts you put us in, mm-hmm. don't play yourself. And I ain't trying to go there with y'all tonight. You know what I mean? It's going to be listen, let us govern ourselves then. Because black people know how to handle black people at a barbecue.
And as far as what you're saying, that is then going back to the reason why Crips and Bloods were started. Because they were governing their own neighborhoods, their own projects. They were governing their own community. So the moment they see outsiders, what set you from?
First of all, we all know Crips and Bloods is black people.
Yeah, facts.
We don't see them as thugs.
Yeah.
Original Productions. We paint pictures, okay? Yeah. The media portrays Crips and Bloods as gang banging ass thugs that can't do nothing but be. We know that's Lil Jody in there. Yeah. Bro ain't about to do nothing unless you put him up against his back.
Yeah, facts. And those are, I believe, like you said, some of the points that I believe that can be effective. But like I said again, my main thing is being effective, and being accountable.
What's the goal?
Doing what we need to do on our end, because like you said, right now that we got, or it seems that we have the attention of our counterparts in our march for change, while they're recognizing that this is actually a thing that continues to happen. We already know that this continues to happen. So what are we doing on our end to continue to make sure that things like this don't continue to happen? Because I told LeRon this when we started talking about business.
Talk to him, see.
It's not about when the people come to your events. It's about what you do when you have their attention.
Exactly.
So when they come to these events, they're coming to support, right? But what are you doing when you have the mic? What are you doing when somebody shouts out DJ Original? What are you doing in the event where you have people's attention? And that's where we are now. We have people's attention. But what is our recourse? What are we showing them, like, hey, other than protests and looting, which are not just black people, of course, but other than the protests, what are we doing as it relates to an effective way to make change happen?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And here's straight up, because there's so much contrary media out there that you guys are confused. Mm-hmm. They created the looting. Some of the looting might have happened, but let me tell you something. That ain't the story. The story is a black man lost. He was murdered. All right? You're not going... This is like an argument you have with a maybe the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? The easiest way to dead the argument is to bring up something that... No. What happened today? Yeah. Okay? So, no more emotional. You saw us both get real preachy and emotional. Here's the truth. You know coronavirus is real. What is it affecting most in America? Black people. Almost double. Stay y'all butts at home, okay? Because this is my opinion. Stop going to protest. Protest with your bank account, okay? Put that bank account in black business, because that's something that's deeper than one walk for 1 hour or 2 hours a day. Everybody getting on Instagram acting all judgy and preachy like they be in the... Stay at home. How about coronavirus didn't change nothing? So really this protest might be more of their plan if you really woke out here. I haven't been out there, but I'm active on the Twitter fingers. Next thing, let's build a real coalition. Anybody can do this social media mess.
Yeah, facts.
Get a real collective together, open a business, support a business, figure out how we need it. And I got to stop there because you get the point.
Yeah, and I mean...
And don't nobody ever want to hear that. They want that 1 hour, 2 hour appreciation, march and protest and post one Black Lives Matter.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's today. That's of the today. And the reason why I would just say... I guess I'm a little more personal about this episode is because I actually went through a very similar experience as it relates to what happened to George Floyd. Luckily, and obviously being blessed, I am here today. But I definitely have experienced the actual feelings of police brutality. I'm not going to dive into the actual factual whole synopsis of the story, but I will start by saying that, I was arrested, right? And I was brutally or very forceful while being arrested. I was thrown on the ground. I was accused of resisting arrest. And then I was accused of basically evading arrest while I was being very compliant. My uncle is actually a police officer, so he's always told us on how to handle policemen in the case that you get pulled over, etc. And I was taken to jail, and like I said, 7 cop cars, all white, running through my car, looking for drugs, looking for guns, and didn't find anything. And as a young black man in college, I was taken to jail, and they changed my charge from resisting arrest to disorderly conduct. And resisting arrest is a felony, right? So I'm in jail with criminals that are doing large time right now. Probably are still in there, right? But at the same time, I could have lost my life, right? And so I'm very...
Could have been thrown into the jail system.
I'm very passionate about these topics, bro, because at the end of the day, as somebody that's actually been involved in experiences like this, it still affects me today. I lost a career because I was in jail, and I had to explain myself on why I did not put this on my application, right? because I was sent to jail, I needed to explain, why didn't you put this on your application, Calvin? The moment I explained the story, they understood, but you should have put it on your application. We have to let you go. And so I want you to understand the severity. Not only did George Floyd lose his life, but imagine if he would have still be living, right? What that fake $20 bill would have been if that man tried to go to a career, he couldn't go to work the next day. He couldn't go to work the next week because he was arrested because of a fake $20 bill. He's now have to explain exactly what's happened throughout his whole life.
Meanwhile, you look at the dude that killed him. They said he had 20 demerits.
And not
what
one
is it,
of,
right? And here's the truth, man. His story is much like so many. And the sad part is Cal's story's deep, and Calvin is actually one of the dudes is making it out here that's got a chance to do something bigger than just.
Yeah.
So I just want people to, at a certain level, I do need people to have a little empathy, not only for black men, not only for black women, not only for black babies that don't have black daddies and black moms that can afford to be off welfare. We need to have a appreciation. Just like you have that male figure in a man's life to beat him into a certain type of confidence, you need that love and tenderness to beat him into a certain type of compassion. And that's what we lack as a community. So when they talk about why do black people kill each other, and I don't go deep with people because I don't got time to debate.
Yeah.
But the truth is when I break it down to you in a certain way, you can understand that really this is a baby brother of that. Okay, the reason why black people are killing each other because you got them on top of each other. You have them in poverty. You have them in positions where only thing they can do is sell dope and make the quick, fast buck. And they all know while they do it, they can lose their life at any moment.
Facts.
My man got on the mic, did not address the death, addressed the looting. I need people to realize something. The KKK started as a black enslavement. If you had left the plantation, we needed to hunt you down, find you, and either return you or get you back in the system. That is what the KKK started into, and then it turned into the police. And then this spread throughout, just like the railroad system, into cities all throughout America. So while y'all are expecting a change, I need y'all to protest to hope for the change, but I need the change to be in you to realize, don't be fearful of them, but realize they're not about to change. You can look at their face, you can look at their leader and tell they're going to do the same thing today they're going to do. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show up tomorrow, if I'm getting bullied at school, with a different agenda.
And again, perfect segue into the agenda. So what are some of the things that you would say that you are looking to as it relates to tomorrow? What are you like if you had a little LaRon right in front of you, because I did post a video of an actual thing that actually made me cry, to be honest with you, because it was just so deep in the reality of the situation that we have to really explain to our young black men that you are like, people are afraid of you. You know what I'm saying? And like, so what would you tell a little LaRon, right, like in this time, in terms of an agenda for you and your family as it relates to going forward tomorrow?
Because with kids, I like to keep it real simple and not so deep because they so, you know what I mean? I would say listen, you know what I'm saying, watch, and think before you speak. Because even me, when I'm talking to this soul that doesn't even need to, you know what I mean?
Didn't even experience it.
Just listen, watch, and think before you speak. Because just so as quick as we willing to give y'all our soul out here, and it might affect us in a way that's counter that what we want, we willing to make that for what we believe is better. But for that, in that case, I think that we all can take something from that, because sometimes you just gotta look at what's really happening. Let's not be emotional, and before we quick to, because when you get emotional, it's easy to just let it all out. Let's just calm down and come up with an agenda, because we all might have different agendas, but if we all play our agenda, and if one get picked off, the next one step up in place just like the army does in battle, then I think we can push forward and we don't have to retreat. But I think they think as long as they deploy the military and overwhelm them with numbers, we know y'all are going to do what? They using military tactics. So let's use military tactics.
I agree with you full-heartedly. I would say, you know, if I were to look at a younger me, and have to explain what just took place. A lot like what you said, I would just really tell him like I would just give y'all what my mama told me, right? You are a black man. There is a game that is being played that is for you to fail.
Talk to him,
right?
Talk to him.
And it is your job to make sure that you are composed and you do not retaliate in the manner in which they expect you to.
Monopoly.
Yeah, you don't react to what they expect you to. Whereas you react into a level in which, like you say, when they go low, we go high. Right?
You gotta be ahead.
You cannot go low with them. Right? You have to go high. Right? And I do understand that we are angry. We are pissed. But the best response sometimes is to step back, not make emotional decisions, because what good does it do for you to stand on the front line,
protest,
to lose your life,
and get corona, but
more or less lose your life? What is the importance of, or what good does it do for you to lose your life to leave this earth still not knowing if something was going to change? Whereas in going back to Martin Luther King, at least when he left something of change. I understand you are angry. I understand you are frustrated. But if you are going to be on the front line,
be organized.
Be organized and effective.
Here's the thing, because you know what? Maybe here's the truth. I think the problem is in the meshing. Yeah. Because you know what? We do need that. Mm-hmm. Regardless, because we need to change. But the problem is within the mesh to the people that now you need the people. When you in military, you got people back home. You got people that's in the studios just over the aircraft. You got people that's over the... That's where we lose it. Okay, yeah, y'all marching, but you're not in tune with the people up here that are doing the politics. You're not in tune with these ones here that are in the NAACP, and then these one that got security. And so when we bring it all together, is Sister Act 3.
Being effective. We have the NAACP. We have a chapter here in San Antonio.
We need cohesiveness.
Who's protesting or who's just having a meeting? Who's having a open format where we can discuss our frustrations and then hold the NAACP while they were created for times like this in terms of being able to express the frustrations of our black people.
Talk to them. See.
Right? But at the same time, again, going back to being effective, like what you just said, we need to be able to format a plan.
And you gotta understand at your level, I can protest all I want, but if I'm not hip with the...
That's what I wanted to say. Now, we are going through what we're going through with George Floyd, right? Okay. Corona happened, business shut down. Some businesses even stopped, right? Change. Those protesters was in front of the courthouses telling them, open up. We need to work. We need to do X, Y, and Z. Right? An effective way telling y'all I'm tired of losing money, or these companies losing all of this money, and seeing that now the NBA and all of these sports, because they've lost way too much money.
Ooh.
Why don't you use the same practice for exactly what we going through? Right? Because you see how quick they're willing to change in the event that they are affected. And protest is not affecting them.
And what they tell you just ain't getting paid. They don't explain nothing to you.
Protests are not effective. They are effective, obviously, in certain instances. But in the case of injustice, the only way you turn injustice into justice is obviously making the pen move.
Okay.
You got to make the pen move.
I heard that.
Things got to be mandated.
I have to be able to go into the courtroom and use this piece of against.
If you ain't watching For Life, if that's not even more of a reason, that man went and got his law degree in prison to make sure that
showed you the very
the
thing
format, the place of how you affect change.
That's why
it wasn't him creating rallies on, oh man, I was wrongfully accused of selling or doing drugs within my business, etc. No, what that man did is go read books and get his law degree while in prison and affect change and made the pen move.
So if you're a young black male out there, young black lady, queen, king, go out and be a lawyer if you knew you were supposed to be a lawyer. If all you could do was march, go march. Corona ain't gonna go nowhere if God got you.
Yeah.
If you was supposed to go out there and be the bridge, you supposed to just came out of school. We talked about people that graduate as black, but yet when they graduate, they don't bridge that gap between getting high schoolers to college and how they take their college degree and turn that into black wealth. All right, be that gap between the people with a voice, the hood, and the collegiate. Okay, if you're a little older, be the people in the background showing us, oh, don't do that. We know we move this way and this way. Everybody got a role to play. Free Game the podcast trying to play ours, but what I'm gonna say is it start today.
Yeah.
You can see in our emotion that we've been collective at least in one or two. And they say if 1, 2, or 3 or more, it's a place of what?
Worship.
God is in there.
Yeah, he's in there. And I would just say again, be effective in your actions and your next steps. Because like I said, my main takeaway and when I was in college, and I mentioned when I was SGA president on one of my posts, I was doing things that actually changed for people to come after me.
Okay.
Right? So that is my biggest thing with just people in general, bro. Like, yes, be proactive, protest, do what you feel is necessary. I'm not saying don't protest. I'm not saying don't be angry. You have every right. But let's do something that's going to create change, or at least start the conversation. Because the ending of my email to my company was simply, my career here is not promised, right? My longevity within this company is not promised, but it is my hopes that what I am requesting may be that it is valid for people that may come to work for this company and have the opportunity to go march with their fellow colleagues.
They didn't value MLK. Why would they value?
Exactly. So my point is, it's not because I might not be able to see the Martin Luther King March walking next year. I might not be able to see it personally, but another black man that works for this company will then be able to, January comes around, he's able to have off on Martin Luther King Day because something that I had asked regarding making this an effective holiday.
We're trying not to go long on it. Look, stop going to Independent July. Go to Juneteenth.
Yeah.
You better act like you know the day we were free as black people. So when we start to talk about change, stop protesting in the middle of Corona. I got to keep telling people that unless you know that's what you need to do.
It's real.
Because you need to be going to Juneteenth. Because you go to Juneteenth, so they look like a barbecue. But July 4th, the whole world going up. So I just need people to get in tune with their Black History book. You ain't got nothing to do at home. It's on History Channel. It's on YouTube. While y'all are bored, get off of Stars for a minute. That same respect that you pay to Stars, the same respect that you pay to McDonald's.
And shout out to Apple. Shout out to Apple though
for
too.
Showing the love.
Because I'm trying to go through Apple trying to play some music and I see a whole little black screen like.
And don't get behind it just because you see. If you don't get behind it, we might take our money out. But black people realize this. You see how so look, it's all about where you spend your money. Free Game the podcast. You can close this one for me. I would like to say we started this off a Monopoly game.
Yeah.
It's really about how you
move the board.
How you spending your money.
Yeah, man. And like I said, it's really, I've said everything that I could. Clearly, I think we're both passionate about this topic. And to our people, man, like you say, just do what you believe that you need to, what you deem necessary, but be effective in whatever you're doing. Don't just do anything for nothing. Do something that changes things. So,
R.I.P. George
Floyd. Yeah.
R.I.P. Neighborhood.
Yeah, bro.
R.I.P. the countless. But guess what? It's gonna be another one that take that place. It's Free Game the podcast.
Who cares? Cal can.